Title: The Lockbox at Graymoor Station. Rain lashed against the window panes of the old ticket booth where 17-year-old Musa sat shivering, clutching his damp hoodie closer. Graymoor Station had long been abandoned. No trains ran through it anymore. Musa had come here to escape his uncle's relentless beatings after another lost school report. He wasn't a bad kid, just misunderstood. A lover of puzzles, mysteries, and things adults called wastes of time. He hadn't planned to stay the night, but with nowhere else to go, the forgotten station became his refuge. As he adjusted an old oil lamp he'd found in the janitor's closet, his eyes caught something odd in the dim light. A brass panel embedded in the floor near the bench. The tiles around it bore scratches, faint, curved, deliberate. Curiosity got the better of him. He pried the panel open with a rusted screwdriver he always carried in his backpack. Inside was a blackened lockbox. A metal tag on top read "Property of Lot C. Brandt, DOD classified." His heartbeat doubled. Government property? Department of Defense? What was a military box doing beneath a ghost station in the middle of nowhere? He hesitated, but then opened it. Inside were aged photos, some documents, a thick leather notebook, and oddly, a folded cloth badge with a strange insignia, a raven over a sword. The first page of the notebook was stained with time but readable. Operation Emberfall, final notes, should the truth be needed. From that moment, Musa forgot about the cold. By dawn, he had devoured every word of the notebook. It detailed a covert mission during a forgotten civil conflict 2 decades ago. The operation had supposedly neutralized a rebel faction planning a chemical attack. But the notes painted a different story. Lieutenant Charles Brandt, the notebook's author, documented internal sabotage, the massacre of civilians misidentified as threats, and a decision by top brass to cover everything up. Brandt had tried to blow the whistle, but vanished weeks after recording this. Musa held in his hand not just a relic, but evidence. The boy who once failed history class now possessed a piece of it. Fueled by a new sense of purpose, Musa decided to investigate the story further. He copied everything from the notebook and uploaded it to a flash drive, hiding the original box inside the station's boiler. Then, he went to the only person he knew would listen without calling him crazy, Aunt Sade, a local journalist known for exposing government corruption. He found her at her office, typing furiously at her desk. The moment he showed her the files, her hands froze. This is real," she whispered. "Where did you get this?" He hesitated. "Promise not to tell anyone yet?" She nodded slowly. Together they cross-verified names, coordinates, even photos with digital archives. It all checked out. Then the threats began. A week later, Musa returned home to find his room trashed. His laptop was gone. A black SUV was parked 2 streets down, engine running, always empty. Until it wasn't. Men in plain suits followed him to school, to the corner store, even to the mosque. They never spoke, but their silence was loud. One night, his uncle, usually indifferent, yanked him from the couch. "What trouble have you brought to my house, boy?" "Men came looking. They said you stole from the army." Musa's stomach nodded. The next day, Aunt Sade disappeared. Her office was ransacked, and the article she'd been preparing gone from her computer. The backup drive was melted to slag. Musa had only one option left: run. He fled to Graymoor Station. But this time, someone was waiting. A man, late 50s, long coat, cold eyes. "You found the box," the man said. Musa clenched his fists, ready to bolt. "I served with Brandt. He was my friend." Musa paused. "Then why are you here?" he asked. The man sighed. "To protect the truth, not bury it." He introduced himself as Agent Raine, retired intelligence. Brandt had sent him a message before disappearing. He never knew what happened after, until now. Together, they returned to the lockbox. Musa retrieved it from the boiler and handed it over. But Agent Raine didn't leave. Instead, he began recording. Camera, voice recorder, documents. "You want to tell this story?" he asked. "Then we tell it right, loud and clear." For the next few weeks, Musa and Raine lived like shadows, traveling to meet survivors, retired officers, and ex-rebels who had once been labeled as insurgents, but were actually innocent villagers. One woman, Io, lost her entire family in the Emberfall massacre. Her story broke Musa, but it also fired him up. "I want people to hear this," he told Raine. "Every last word." On a cold Monday morning, a video went live across the internet. It featured voices, names, coordinates, satellite images, testimonies. And finally, Leonard Brandt's last message, recovered and restored. "This is not treason," Brandt had said in the recording, eyes heavy with grief. "This is redemption." The story exploded. News outlets picked it up, protests broke out, retired generals were summoned to court, a war crime investigation reopened. But Musa stayed hidden. He knew the truth had cost people their lives. He wasn't about to let it cost him his. 6 months later, he returned to the station. It was different now. A mural had been painted over the side wall. It showed Leonard Brandt, Agent Raine, and a teenage boy holding a notebook. Underneath, in bold letters, "Truth buried here, truth raised here." Morals of the story: 1. Curiosity is not a weakness, it is a compass that leads to truth. 2. Even the smallest voice can ignite a revolution when backed by courage. 3. History is shaped not just by those in power, but by those brave enough to question it. 4. Justice delayed is still worth fighting for. 5. Your past doesn't define you. What you choose to do with what you discover does. Please like, share, and subscribe.